Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another TalkMUFC stream. Today we got a special guest on the show, Tammy Talks, and we'll be just discussing everything that's going on at Manchester United at the current moment. So what is up, my guy?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Can't complain. I appreciate you inviting me to your show.
So, things at Man United have definitely been havocy, to say the least. Um,
Yes.
we're going to be just discussing everything with everybody today. Everybody
Yeah.
watching, you guys can also join into the stream. I will be posting a link actually right now for everybody to join in.
Yep.
So in the live chat, you guys can all join in and we'll just all be having a conversation. Make sure you guys put in all your thoughts about Manchester United in the comments in the live section. And then we'll be answering all of that. But to start off, just wanted to ask you your questions on, of course, our interim manager at the moment, Ralf Rangnick. Just your thoughts, because our last couple of games have definitely been like horrible. So just as a manager, what do you think of him? Do you think he is like a puppet, or do you think he is actually making all these decisions, like playing Mctominay and Matic, for example, like making all the decisions? Do you think it's him? Do you think he's a puppet? Or do you think something's just wrong with him? Because this last performance was just horrible. So what are your thoughts on him just overall?
Yeah, I definitely don't think he's a puppet. I think he's a good manager and he's proven that over his career. Now, he hasn't managed a club the size of Manchester United.
Right. He
Um,
was at
right.
Lokomotiv up Moscow, right?
Exactly. So he's managed at Lokomotiv. He managed at Schalke, got to a Champions League semifinal, faced
Right.
Manchester United, got beat up pretty good, but a Champions League semifinal for Schalke is a huge deal, right? So
Right.
he's accomplished things in this game, more so than our previous manager. And at the end of the day, I never personally viewed him as someone who was going to be here long term. I think because of the situation with Ali and how he became the full time manager, people kind of are jaded by that, and they think that Ralph is going to be the manager, in next season or whatever. I genuinely don't think he's going to be the manager. I think he's going to be at the forefront helping with team building. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think that um, the players right now are the actual issue more so than this manager. Um, and they're showing that on the pitch. The performances have been bad. I can admit to that. I think Ralph has made some mistakes early in his United career so far. But at the end of the day, I think he's the least of our worries. I genuinely do.
Right. So you said it's the players mostly, and right. So Ralf Ragnick, he'll be ending his interim role, I guess, in June, I believe so, next year. Who do you think is gonna take over from them then? Because the last time we were picking managers, he was definitely havocy, to say the least.
Yeah, no,
Do you
it's
think it'll be like Pochettino? I don't know, Ten Hag,
yeah,
Zidane.
yeah, that would be my choice. I would personally pick Maurizio Pochettino.
Right.
Now, if how do I word this? I don't know who the next manager is going to be. I have no idea what the club is thinking, who they want to appoint. All I can say is what my preference would be. You feel me? I don't think that um, I don't think that the club even knows where they want to go right now with the next manager. I think they're
Yeah,
hyper
that
focused on. I think they're hyper focused on getting top four right now, and then once Ralph, or if Ralph does that, if and when Ralph does that, they'll think about the next manager, or they'll start preparing a couple months before. But I genuinely don't think they know who they're. They might have some targets, but I don't think they have anyone that they've reached out to, or anything of the sort yet.
right. I feel like that goes back to the point that it's our Glazers and the managerial situation that is behind all of this. And
Mm-hmm.
that's really what drives the entire situation and why we can't get anything sorted out.
Yeah,
That's the real situation here. But
100%.
specifically going to the players, as you said, you're thinking that they are the real cause of all of this. And really, for the longest time, we've been switching managers, Oli, Ragnick, all of this. We had a bunch of managers before that. I was always thinking that it was, the manager's fault. It's this one. Let's just sack this one, bring in the new one. But now I'm like with you. I feel like it's definitely the players, because who else is to blame?
Right.
So just specifically, who in your mind is really the players that we should be blaming? I guess on the top of your mind.
So, That's a great question. I think that it's before I answer it, I want to do bring up the point. I think two things can be true. I think a manager can be the problem and the players can be the problem at the same time. So, for instance, Ali, I do think he needed to go. No question about it. I don't have any revisionist history on that. I don't have any
Right.
I
But
don't
just
have any,
just
I don't
quickly
have
on
any
that,
yeah, I
just
don't have
quickly on
any
that point,
Mhm.
I feel like we're playing the exact same football. It was Oli, now it's Ragnick. Like, has
Yeah.
things really changed? Like,
So no, it doesn't look that great right now. But if you've watched Ragnick teams in the past, you'll see that he does have a structure, he does have a style of play, but this is when the players come into fault, right? Their refusal to buy in to a manager that maybe isn't you know, doesn't have the cachet of a Mourinho, doesn't have the cachet of a Klopp or a Conte or whoever, what name your top manager. The fact that there's so many leaks coming out of the camp talking about a manager that's not even been here for that long, to me is extremely problematic. It shows a lack of discipline. It shows a lack of understanding. It shows that these players think that they're better than they are. I don't know if it's a single player. I don't think it's a single player. You know what I'm saying?
right.
I think it's more of a collective group thing. You feel me? I think it's something that it's been permeating for a while. I think under the previous leadership, they were kind of baby, like they were kind of pampered. Nothing was ever their fault. Even I can talk about some of my favorite players. That Ali defended. When things weren't going great. So it's a big thing. They've been pampered for a really long time. They have a manager who's asking them to work harder in training, understand a new system, all that good stuff, and they're not responding to it. They're coming out in the media privately. Luke Shaw said that maybe the manager should give us some new ideas in the post-match press conference. Like, it's really bad. Like, these players, like, for lack of a better term, they're spoiled brats. That's how it's
Yeah,
coming.
exactly.
That's how
Yeah.
it's coming across. I don't want to, highlight individuals, but as a collective, they are coming off as spoiled brats.
Yep, I definitely agree with you. It feels like, when you see the pictures of the players come into training, in their nice cars, and then, like, what are they even doing at training, like, at this point? And I really don't know. And specifically, like, I don't know, players
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know, like Juan Bissaka, Luke Shaw. There's just so many of them. Matic, like, what are they doing on the field when they just step in? It becomes ridiculous when you just watch. And even though when you look at the club on paper, you don't understand why the way things are is the way things are. Like, it's
Right,
ridiculous.
right.
So just I wanted to transition on to our goalkeeper situation to just start off with Henderson. He's been saying that he wants to leave. I don't know. And then Ralf Rangnick's been saying that he wants to, like, really keep him and all of that. What are your thoughts on just Dean Henderson? Do you
Mhm.
think he's valuable to us? If he leaves, of course, we only have Tom Heaton. Do you think he's valuable to us? Like, my take on this is I think that Dean Henderson is very, very valuable for us. So
Yeah.
I think it would be very, very sad to lose him, because if De Gea gets injured, of course, we're going to need a backup keeper. And, that's what happens. But just what are your thoughts on Dean Henderson? And also, Ugly Bear, what is going on? Welcome to the stream. But yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, for me personally, I believe Dean Henderson is not our best goalkeeper. I don't think he's
Right.
better than David De Gea, honestly. I know De Gea had a very tough, kind of like 18-month stretch there during Ali's time, and people were clamoring for him to be replaced and stuff like that. But from what we saw from Dean Henderson last year, it doesn't lead me to believe that he's a number one keeper for Manchester United. We were top. I remember. I think we top of the table, or we 1 point off. I can't remember. We faced Sheffield United. He makes a humongous mistake in that game that cost us dearly. You know, the people complain about De Gea's distribution and stuff like that, but I haven't seen enough from Henderson to suggest that he is Ederson or he's Andre Onana or he's, one of these keepers that are really good with their feet. You feel me?
Right.
So I personally,
How would you compare him with Tom Heaton? So, like, if
oh,
Dean
he's much better
Henderson
than
leaves.
Tom Heaton. Oh, he's much better than Tom Heaton. I think he's a
Right,
good.
right.
I think he's a good keeper. Is he a
Right.
Manchester United first team keeper? That's a
No.
completely different question, right? He's making 120 grand a week at the club. That is,
Yeah.
for me, that's absolutely the fact that
Yeah.
we gave a backup keeper that level of money is ridiculous in itself. De Gea is on humongous wages. I personally, if he wants to leave, I would say good riddance. I think we can find an equivalent goalkeeper for cheaper and could provide the same level of backup stability that we need. With Sergio, for instance, Sergio Romero, right? That's what you need. You need a keeper who's okay with kind of being the backup, but they're good enough that when they do step in, you know, that they're ready. And I think Dean Henderson is that keeper, but he has bigger aspirations for himself, right? He doesn't have the backing of, like, for instance, Romero was Argentina's number one. So he always knew he could look forward
Right.
when he goes to international break, he gets to play. He has that to look forward to. He knows that when we play cup games, he gets to play. Like, he knows he's probably going to get 25 to 30 appearances for club and country throughout a course of a year, right? Dean Henderson wants more than that. He wants to be the number one he wants to be the number one for England. He wants to be the number one for a big club, essentially. I just don't think he's a Manchester United keeper. Is he better? Is he any better than the likes of a Fabianski? Better than the likes of a Pickford? Better than the likes of an Aaron Ramsdale? I think he's a little bit better than those guys, but I don't think it's drastic. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if Dean Henderson wants to go, honestly, all the best to him. Please leave. Your wages are too high anyway.
Yeah. I would say that I do agree with you. I don't think he is that valuable to us. I think if he leaves, as you said, we could find somebody else. Tom Heaton is definitely not good enough. So if he does leave, we are gonna have to find somebody else. In the case if De Gea gets,
Yep.
injured or something. But De Gea is an absolute beast. So hopefully he's gonna be able to play like all the time. Like
Mm-hmm.
really, without him, we would be. I don't know where we would be at this point without him.
He's our player of the season so far, no question
Yeah,
about
yeah, exactly. So let's just move on to like our defensive players. Just
it.
like
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna move up, discuss like all the lineups and everything.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of our? Let's just start with our center backs. Eric Bailly, we got Varane, Maguire, Lindelof. Who do you
Mm-hmm.
think is your pick for the two? For me, it is definitely Varane and Bailly, just straight up. I think they are both good players. I think that Maguire, first of all, they should rip that armband off Maguire. Lindelof is so, but I think that Eric Bailly and Varane are both very, very good. Just what are your thoughts on our two center backs and who should be playing there? Also, big shout out to Kajino turning back and the Southgate lad for tuning in. How are you guys doing today? Let me know in the live chat. But back to you.
Yeah. No. So me personally, I would go with Varane and Lindelof. You feel me? I think Lindelof's better than So. I think he's a really good player. You know,
Then bye.
I think yeah, I think he's better than Eric Bailly personally.
Right.
I know people and this is not a slight to Bailly because I think he's a good player too. I just think
Right.
that Lindelof's a bit more short on the ball. I think he's a much better passer than Eric Bailly is. I think he's less prone to a mistake than Eric Bailly. I know Eric Bailly has the athletic ability and he has the athletic traits, but he does a lot of boneheaded things. And because he's a fan favorite, I think people kind of look over it. But he does do a lot of boneheaded things in games. But when Bailly is at his best, I think he's a really really good center back. I just personally think Lindelof is a bit more assured. I think he reads the game better. I think he's, you know what I'm saying? I think he has that element to him that,
Right.
if you partner him with a Varane, you have two center backs on the team who are really good on the ball, have tons of experience over the past few years. When's the last time we've seen? And this is another issue with Eric Bailly. When's the last time we've seen Eric Bailly play 5 games on the bounce? Right, like 5 games straight.
Exactly.
And there's been times where the manager, I think even Ali, wanted to give him a chance. I think that, I think Mourinho wanted to. Obviously, it was a Mourinho signing. I think Mourinho wanted to give him a chance, but he couldn't stay healthy. He's going to AFCON right now. I just did a stream on my channel for AFCON or whatever, African Cup of Nations. And I'm worried. I'm worried that he's going to be a starter for Ivory Coast. I'm genuinely worried that he's not going to come back healthy, right? Because he could potentially, if they get to the final, he could play 7 straight games. I can't remember the last time we saw Eric Bailly play 7 straight games. So it makes me nervous, you know what I'm saying? And that's a big challenge for me. So personally, I would go with Varane and Lindelof. I would have Bailly as their backup, and anyone who knows me knows I think Harry Maguire is the most overrated center back in the history of the Premier League. I I believe that with my utmost heart. You know what I'm saying? I was saying this when it was unpopular to say it. You know what I'm saying? I was saying this, 3 months in. I was like, I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't understand what people are clamoring about. This guy is not any better. I said it. I said this guy's not better than Victor Lindelof at all. People called me crazy. People were like, bro, you're a hater. You have an agenda against him. I'm like, no, he's just not that good. He's just not that good. You feel me? So
I agree.
And he had a nice run of form. Maguire had a nice run of form at the back end of last season. The back end of, I think I want to say from January to May, going into the Euros too. He was good. He was good. He wasn't great, but he was very good, I think. And then that's the best we've ever seen of him. But anything outside of that little stretch for me, inconsistency continuously. So I would, like you said, I would strip the captaincy off of him. I would not be playing him week in, week out.
That's definite. That's definite. We got to rip the armband off him. Just like this comment here says, Maguire, bench him all day, 100%. Got to bench him all day. I agree, but we did forget about Phil Jones, who has been incredible against Wolves. He was awesome. Literally, with all the negativity, everybody put it on him. He came out there and it was incredible, to be honest.
Yeah.
Kieran here says I'd play Jones over Maguire. Yeah, hey, definitely.
So dude. you said you're 16, right? So that 10 years ago, you would have been 6. That's when Phil Jones was at his best, right? So Phil Jones was a rotational player in our last title winning side, right? He got about 20, he probably got 15 or 20 games that season. He was 20 years old, mind you. The season before when we lost on goal differential to City, he was 19 and he was playing, I think he got 25 or 26 games in the Premier League as a 19-year-old playing for Sir Alex. He's actually done more than Harry Maguire has in his career. It's factual. It's not a if and or but about it. The issue with Phil Jones, similar to Eric Bailly, is he hasn't been able to stay healthy. And then even when he was healthy for a bit, there's a few games we can remember where he played where he was kind of awful. I remember Ali's first full season. There was a game against Sheffield that we drew. I think we were down 2-0, came back 3-2, ended up drawing the game at the last second. And Phil Jones was terrible that game, and we didn't really see him after that. And then the injuries happened, and it just, it just spiraled from there. But Phil Jones I don't think he'll ever. I mean, yesterday, mind you, I said he was my man of the match for that game. You're completely right. I think he was really good. He was aggressive. He worked hard. He was calm. Him and Varane, I thought looked good. But at the end of the day, I don't think that he is a Manchester United quality player anymore. You feel me? I just don't think he's that. It's been too long. I don't know how he gets back into the fray with the likes of Lindelof. Lindelof's better than him. I think.
Yeah. So I feel like that's similar to Martial, right? Just somebody who's just had enough. Was used to be an icon, used to be very good, but now he's kind of, he's going away, to So, was there anything else you were gonna say about Phil Jones?
No. I was just gonna say, I think that as well as happy as I was for Phil Jones, I just don't think that will ever be a Manchester United starter again. But continue.
Right. I agree. All right, let's see what we got here. Jones' problem is the injury that is affecting him in his career. Yep. That is definitely a big part of his problem. Jones got it, man. Jones is far good and solid than Maguire. Yep. He's definitely better than Maguire, but is he quality Manchester United player in the long term? He's inconsistent. He could have one good game that he gets injured and he's out, and then you never see him, and that's why he can't stay long at Manchester United. That's just the overall verdict here. But yeah, let's see what else we got here. Strategy TV, what is going on? Maguire's like one of them posh kids that grew up not working one day in his life. I agree with you, my man, Mike B.
That's the energy he gives off.
Lord Phil over peasant Maguire. Okay, all right. All right. So, we discussed the center backs, all right, and now we got to move on to like the right back, the left back. We have 4 options there, really. We got Wan-Bissaka, we got Luke Shaw, we got Alex Telles, and then we got Diego Dalot. For me, it is definitely Luke Shaw should not be starting majority of games. That's my verdict. Wan-Bissaka and Diego Dalot, for me, it's different. Wan-Bissaka, often you see him very good, like great aerial, like dual win rate, in my opinion. Like he really shows that he's there. He's very vivid on the field. He's really good at blocking crosses. But Diego Dalot is also very good. Incredible slide tackling, in my opinion. Same as Alex Telles. So, who would you pick? Let's just start on the right. Wan-Bissaka or Diego Dalot? Because that is, for me, the biggest question that we have. Also, all 5 of you watching, make sure to hit that like button right now if you guys are enjoying. But yeah, who is it? Wan-Bissaka or Diego Dalot for you?
At the moment, I would say Dalot. If people who have followed me for a while know I've been a huge AWB defender ever since he's joined Manchester United. I think that his first full season, I think he was one of our 5 or 6 most consistent players. I'll say that. Maybe not our best player, but one of our 5 or 6 most consistent players. He always gave us a 7 out of 10, in my opinion, that first season. He was defensively strong. But ever since that first full season, it's kind of just been a gradual regression for me. I don't think he's improving. I think he's regressing. And it's just on the ball. I've always been one who said that, I do want my fullback to have tech, but I do also want my fullback to defend. You feel me?
Right.
But at the end of the day, I think his offensive frailties are really holding us back. He's afraid to put crosses into the box. I think that he's hesitant when he does get the ball. He never wants to put in a cross first time. When he does cross it, it's not a pretty sight. And Diogo Dalot, I think he does have defensive deficiencies, but I think when we're going forward, we look a lot better with him on the ball than we would with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. And I think Aaron Wan-Bissaka is in poor form. I don't think anyone's too big to be dropped in this club. So I'd personally go with Diogo Dalot right now.
Right. So Diego Dalot for me. I would say that I'm also leaning towards Diego Dalot and the partnership with Alex Telles. I don't know if you noticed, but most of our attacks are always moved up through the left side. It's usually either Alex Telles or Luke Shaw. It's very, very rarely that we have Wan-Bissaka moving it up, either because he loses the ball, takes too big of a touch that it goes somewhere else. But as a specific, just as a defender, I feel like he is pretty good. He has that very, very strong sense of him being there, being able to block shots and all that. But moving on to the left side, do you think Luke Shaw or Alex Telles would be your choice for that? Let me just quickly read out some comments before we do that. So Kieran says the only reason Maguire plays is because he's paid 80 million for him. He was at City or Liverpool or Pepper Club starting them. I don't think so. Our manager should be ruthless and drop him. Yeah, I feel like this goes back to the Glazers. It is in somebody's agenda at Manchester United to be starting these players and also going to the midfield. We'll be moving on to that later on. Starting Maguire. Why? Who picked Maguire to be captain? It's ridiculous. Same thing with Matic. Somebody's in love with these players, I feel like. And no other manager that is not a puppet would not be playing Maguire. So you got it spot on. Kajina turning back says, I prefer Delo all day, man. Yep, I do agree with you. And then Delo has a 1-3 good decent game, whereas Wan-Bissaka is 2-3. How do you respond to that comment there?
Oh my guy! Shout out to my guy Ugly Bear. I was a part of an old, not an old, but YouTube channel called All Free United. He was always in the stream. So shout out to Ugly Bear.
Shout out.
But
Yeah.
but for me, I disagree with that. I think that Diogo hasn't really had a run of 10 games on the bounce for us to even say that. You know what I'm saying? Has he had a run of 10 games on the bounce since he's been at the club? I'd say no. The answer is no. I know AWB has. And like I said, I'm a big fan of AWB, so this is not a shot at him. I'm probably one of the few people who still think that, there's hope for him. But I think that the fact that he seemed a bit too comfortable for the past year. It seems like he knew in his heart of hearts that he was always going to play week in and week out. There was no accountability for him. So I think
Right.
his performances have been regressing. He hasn't improved on the ball. He hasn't really improved that much on the ball, which is problematic for me. His crossing hasn't improved. His ability on the ball, his tech, it hasn't improved. I think that at this point, I'm okay with seeing a Diogo Dalot play a 10-game stretch, no matter how bad he plays. Because we've seen Wan-Bissaka play 30 straight games, 25 straight games, or whatever, with the exception of maybe a couple breaks, in cup games. But even then, he played a ton of cup games too. But I just think that right at this moment, I feel like Diogo Dalot does deserve a chance in the side.
Right. I agree with you. It was very rapid change. It was like suddenly we got Diego Della and Alex Telles moving in. It was like one game, and then from then on, like I guess we saw how good they were, and they started starting all the time. Let's just see here. If Ragnick doesn't drop Maguire, then I'm afraid he's just another Glazer puppet. Yeah, that's what I'm saying here. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know if it's that simple. I don't know if it's that simple, but I don't know if it's that simple for me. I think that when you come into a brand new club, if the first thing you do is strip the captaincy off of a player, it it could shake up a locker room because you don't know who the people the people that are on his side, the people that are in his camp, the people who aren't in his camp, it could shake up things. So I think what Rangnick really wants to do is, play this side that was starting for a little bit. He wants to play the side that was starting under Ali, and then weed out the players that he doesn't think are good enough for his system. And hopefully one of those players is Maguire. But yeah, no, it's we'll see. I do not think that Ralf Rangnick is a puppet though, or ever will be.
Right. So, but on that point, our locker room is already in havoc, right now.
Right.
We all know that, and I don't know. Maybe at first, if they strip the armband off him, then there'll be some havoc. But overall, they definitely need to do it at some point. If we want any good future, they need to rip it off him. But yeah,
I agree.
Yep. Let's see. Kieran here says, "Does Tammy have a channel so I can connect?" Yes, he sure does. I did post a link to it in the chat, so make sure you guys all go check that out after the stream.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bro.
We got a question in here. So, Jimmy Kebby says, "Do you think Darren Fletcher being with Ragnick is an issue since he was there with Oli? Maybe he's filling Ralph's head with bad ideas." That is exactly what I'm thinking here. He's sitting there as a technical director, right? That's his role right now. And he's constantly whispering to Ralf Rangnick, whatever he is. And it feels it feels weird. I don't know what he's telling him. And I think that is a big part of the issue. Definitely for me. I think that he's filling exactly Ralph's head with some random ideas that come from the Oli era, and specific things like playing Matic or constantly playing Mctominay all of the time. Things like that. I feel like he is definitely influencing Ralf Ragnick's decisions on doing that. Let me know what you think about that. And after that, we will be transitioning to the latest news today about RUBEN NEVES. So if you guys are watching, make sure you guys stay for that. But what do you think about Darren Fletcher? Do you think he is an issue for Ralf Rangnick? And how much of an influence do you think he has on Ralf Rangnick?
I think that the technical director on the touchline thing is extremely problematic. You feel me? I think that is one of the weirdest things I've ever seen happen at a football club. I can't remember the last time seeing someone who's a technical director on the touchline with the manager.
Exactly.
It's so weird, but at the same time, I'll keep saying this. Ralf, I don't think Ralf is a puppet. I don't think he's being um forced to play certain players, or will he take some advice? Yes, I do think he'll take advice. I think any good manager, I think Sir Alex took advice from his training staff or whatever. But again, mind you, is Fletcher part of the training staff? Whatever, I don't know. But again, I think Ralf is his own man. I think that he is a proud man. If you listen to him speak, you can hear the confidence in his voice. He's not afraid to, call out players, not individually, but just, he's very to the point, very intelligent. There's no way on earth that Darren Fletcher knows more about football management and building football sides than Ralf Rangnick. And we're going to see that once Ralf Rangnick goes upstairs. I think Darren's going to be reporting to Ralf. You feel me? I think he's going to be, even though he's in an advisory role, I think they're going to really take his advice.
Yeah, he's going to have that 2-year consultancy role. Exactly.
Is it extremely weird that Fletcher's on the touchline? Yes. Do I think Ralf is being quote unquote influenced or being told what to do? No, I don't.
Exactly. I would definitely have to agree with you. But, when Ralf Rangnick came into Manchester United, we all we're super excited about his 4-2-2-2 system, his counter-attacking, very, very quick-paced system. And, we saw it against, probably the only game we saw it against was Crystal Palace. But other than that, we haven't seen it, anywhere, in any other games. So Why don't we see it? Because he isn't as experienced to implement it? Is it because he's a puppet? I don't know. That's the weird thing about it. I don't want to believe he's a puppet, but at the same time, I don't understand why we can't implement that system, his famous system, into Manchester United, which we all understand that we really, really need. For me, that's very, very weird. Let me just quickly take a look here. Eddie Vaddix, what is going on? How are you doing today? Smash the like. You guys are enjoying, by the way. Fletcher shouldn't be there. None of these old players should be coaches. Yep, I agree. We already took away Mike Fallon, Kieran McKenna. Fleischer is the only one left.
Oh, Phelan's still there, I think, isn't he? Or he's just like a backroom staff guy?
I'm actually not sure. I think when McKenna was leaving, Phelan also was leaving. I'm not sure. Got to double check on that, guys.
Yeah,
if you guys do know, let me know in the comments. So yeah, let's see what we got here. Sure, they only have dummy ideas. Ralph believe in his philosophy, and I stand by him. He will make us great again. Hopefully. Ugly Bear says, I think reason why Rangnick hasn't made wholesale changes is because he's picking up players. It's because he doesn't want to lose the dressing room. Also, Rangnick is still interim. Yep. He is interim, so, we got to cut him some slack. But I was thinking that he was coming in to really not win trophies, but to bring our side to a new level and really create a revolution, per se, at Manchester United, which I'm not really seeing at this point. So I really do want to believe in him, but it's hard, it's hard.
No, it's early. It's really, you have to remember, it's really early. He's only managed 6 Premier League games, he's managed 6 games in all competitions, one of which was young boys. He played the kids, so I don't even count that. I think the big challenge for him probably right now is he's in shock. He's probably in shock at how entitled these players are. You know what I mean? I think that he hasn't managed players with the egos that these players have. He hasn't managed someone like a Cristiano Ronaldo or a Cavani or a Bruno or a these players that have big clout at Manchester United, right? So I think that's his big challenge right now. I think in due time, though, you will see that he will weed out these players. If it means playing the kids, I would not be shocked if he is playing, he'll weed out some of these players and play some of the kids in the academy, right? So again, I would say be patient for anyone who's really uncomfortable right now. Obviously, there are things you can criticize. Why are certain players playing, et cetera, et cetera. But I would just lean on the side of caution and let things play out. You know, the media, there's so many people trying to bring him down. I'm frustrated, but I'm also patient. You feel me? So we just gotta wait and see.
Right, I agree. I agree. But you know, when Conte came to Tottenham, it was like a couple games, and straight off the bat, it was all good. So
Right. But
you know,
again, Conte is one of those managers that he is one of the five. He's probably one of the five best managers in world football. You
right,
feel me? What he's accomplished in the Premier League. He won a league title in the Premier League. He's won domestic trophies in England. The level of respect that he's going to garner is going to be completely different from the level of respect that Ralf is going to garner. Even though Ralf is a well-respected man in the football sphere, excuse me. Antonio Conte is fresh off of a Serie A title. You know, he broke the chain of Juventus winning, I don't know how many titles on the bounce. You know, he won at Chelsea, like I said. He won at Juventus. You know, he's a manager that is he's a better manager than Ralf. You know what I'm saying? Ralf is more of a team builder. You know, he's more of a guy who like you take like he's worked on small sides and brought them up the chain, and
yeah,
done good things. I think he's a good manager, but again, I don't think he was ever going to be our permanent manager. That's another thing. So people just need to kind of take a deep breath. Let this man guide us through this storm, and we'll continue to move on. He hasn't even made a signing yet. I can't judge a manager who hasn't even had the opportunity to bring one player into the side.
right, right. I agree. I agree. We got to give it a little bit more times. But these performances are they're not okay. They're not okay.
No, 100%.
Right. So
100%.
we're going to transition to just the news just today, bring you guys all the latest overview. But first, let's just read out some comments. If you guys do want to let me know your questions, just put like #question in the live chat, or just let me know that it's a question so that we focus on that more. But let's see what we got here. Jamie McKebby, what is going on? Phelan is still there, but I feel like he'll be gone soon too. So he's still there. After everything that has come out today, I don't think these players will work with Rangnick. Yeah, there's been a lot of issues in the dressing room. Like, I'm really also very worried about that. But I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean, he has. I think these issues were here before he came, and they're just being highlighted because of the switch in manager. I think Ollie was hiding a lot of things, for better or for worse. I always gave Ollie credit for never throwing these players under the bus. And hindsight is 2020, you feel me? But should he have been more stern with them? Probably. The likes of an Antonio Conte, they're ruthless. He's ruthless. He doesn't care. If he feels as if you are not doing what he says, he will essentially exile you, for lack of a better term. Like, he will send you to the grave of no playing, essentially. So again, the comparison between I know the new manager bounce thing, the comparison between Conte is managing a side with a lot less egos in there. A lot of the Tottenham players haven't really won much in their careers, so they're much more apt to listen to listen to an Antonio Conte, as opposed to our players who a lot of them have huge egos. Some of them have huge egos and they haven't even won anything. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
so
right.
It's a completely different dynamic, and it's hard to compare. You feel me?
Right, right. I agree with you 100% there. Okay, Tragic TV says, I still have confidence in Ralf and our squad. We already saw how we can perform under proper pressing in the Palace game. We just need to be disciplined. Yeah. Like, I don't know if you saw that clip about Ralf Rangnick in the dressing room. I don't know, was it Lokomotiv Moscow or Schalke, where he's like yelling at the players in like some German or something. But I feel like that is what he needs to do at United, because we know that we can play well, but it's just the players are spoiled. Like, that's the situation. So I agree with you, Tragic. Then we got here, but his tactics will not happen straight away. You only rate him like 5 to 8 months. Yep, but he'll be gone in 6 months, so he'll be the consulting role. He need his own players for his system. Yep. Yeah. Hopefully we can bring in a Madua Haidara, somebody in like Kamara or Julian Alvarez, Ruben Neves, somebody in that, somebody new. To be honest, to Wolves, they're a very good side nowadays. They only lost to City, but a lucky pen, and to Liverpool by a lucky late goal. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that we should be playing like complete shit against them,
Right.
I think Oli was easy on the players, and now that Ralf has come and being very strict, the players were ready for it. Well, maybe they were ready for it, but I guess
I'm guessing he meant weren't ready for it.
Oh, weren't ready for it, right?
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, my bad, but yeah, right. We brought in Sancho, Varane, Ronaldo, 3-class players. Sancho especially is not being used right. Believe me when I say Sancho is world class. We just he needs to be managed right. Yeah. Well, when he was playing under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he was managed completely horribly, just like it was awful. Now I think that Ralf Rangnick is giving him a chance, to be honest. But yeah. I saw the clip, put Roy Keane in the dressing room. They won't be so soft. Yeah, Neves will be good. Right. So that is a great comment to transition to the latest news today about Ruben Neves coming in to Manchester United. I am going to try to share my screen here if I can. Give me a quick second here. So, all right. I hope you guys can all see that. But, yeah. So, sources say that Ruben Neves is now ready to move on from Wolves. He is eager to show his skills at a bigger club. So that is just a quick overview of the news. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think Ruben Neves is the player for us? Yes, no, and all that. He is coming in from Wolves, a side that we just lost to. So, yeah.
Right.
What are your thoughts on him?
No, yeah, I've been a big Ruben Neves fan ever since the Wolves got promoted into the Premier League. He's a really good player, a different type of player than the ones we have right now. He's a bit more short on the ball than Mctominay and a Fred. He has a bit more creativity to him than Matic, but he can still play in the deeper role. Is he a 6? No, but if you pair him with another midfielder, i.e. Moutinho, like he's doing now, he looks, he's just fine, playing with a partner. I think he would be a good addition to our squad, 100%. I think he'd walk into our starting lineup. But the question is just, our transfer is going to quote unquote fix everything that is, structurally wrong with the club. That's a different conversation. But overall, if you're asking me, is Ruben Neves a good player? 1,000%. Is he a Manchester United quality player? I think he is. I think he can be. I think he still has room to improve. I don't think he would be that expensive. I see a comment right here. So I take Neves over Declan Rice. I think that we're splitting. I think Declan Rice is a really good player. I think he's a really good player, but for the price that they're asking for, 100 million pounds, please, stop it. I would never spend 100 million pounds on Declan Rice. But Neves, I think we could probably get him for the 35, 30 million pounds, something like that. But yeah, no, 100%. Neves is somebody I would love to see at Old Trafford.
Yep, I would definitely agree with you. We need to make a signing in this January transfer window, and I think Ruben Neves is definitely a good option. And he'll really strengthen our side. And you'll take Neves over Declan Rice. I don't know if I would take Neves over Declan Rice if they would be the same cost, but knowing that Declan Rice is 80 to 100 million pounds, I'll definitely take Neves over him. So yeah. But all you guys, make sure to hit that like button. Thank you guys for smashing 10 likes. You guys are all absolute legends. But let's just take a look at some other news I did want to discuss with you guys. So Neves, we are growing more interest in him day by day. Will we sign him? I don't know. It's been something interesting. We every single couple of days we have some new player that we're targeting. You know, there was huge talk about Amadou Haidara to United. Then it was Boubacar Kamara. Then like yesterday it was Julian Alvarez, and then today it's like suddenly Ruben Neves. Right? It's like lots of transitioning, and I feel like maybe a couple of days will pass and players will. I mean, people kind of forget about Ruben Neves or something, but I don't know. We'll see. So let's just take a look at some other stuff. So we know here. So also about Axel Tuanzebe, Fabrizio Romano says deal signed and sealed right now for Axel Tuanzebe. Paperwork signed between Manchester United and Napoli. So he's going on loan for 600k euros, fee plus bonuses. Medical expected to take place on Friday in Italy. Here we go, confirmed. So, you know, Axel Tuanzebe hasn't ever been a big part of our side, so it doesn't really make that big of a difference. But, you know, what are your thoughts on him? Just overall,
yeah. Apologies. I hear my dog barking. I hope you guys can't hear that.
Nah,
too loud.
no worries.
But oh my goodness, my dog is going crazy. But Axel, I've always had a soft spot for Axel. I think Ollie was trying to bet him in next to Maguire, to be quite honest with you. That was his goal. And then he got injured for a year and it just never really worked out. I think this move to Napoli is a big opportunity for him because Napoli is a humongous club, a great history. You know, I think he has the likes to learn from, you know, he's going to get to learn from one of the best center backs, you know, over the past 5 or 6 years, which is Kalidou Koulibaly. You know, I can't imagine a better, you know, I can't imagine a better person to learn under. You know, Kalidou Koulibaly is one of the best center backs I've seen in you know, over the past 5 or 6 years. So I think it's a good thing for him. I'm happy he's getting to, you know, he's spreading his wings, not staying in England, but challenging himself, like the likes of a Fikayo Tomori or a Tammy Abraham, that, you know, those former Chelsea players. So yeah, I'm happy for him. I don't know if he'll ever be a Manchester United regular. I doubt it. I think that time has passed for him. But I think there's a player in there, no question about it. I think he has really good feet. You know, I think he reads the game relatively well. He does have a mistake in him, no question about that. But I'm happy for him. I'm really happy for him. I think Axel's a good player.
Nice. Yeah, I agree with you. You know, we have I did make a video about like the players I think we should be keeping selling on my channel, and I did discuss that there's a lot of them that just, you know, it's better for them to be somewhere away on loan to get more experience than maybe come back to United. And Axel Tuanzebe is definitely one of those players. But yeah, that is kind of all of the latest quick news today. We are still pursuing Julian Alvarez very, very majorly. A little later on in the stream, we might go back to some more news. But let's get back to discussing, you know, things about United and all of that. Let's just read out some comments quickly. If you guys are enjoying, make sure to hit that red subscribe button. It does help out the channel a lot. And smash that like button as always. Kieran here says, Neves, yes, for sure, big fan. He'd be perfect for us. But we need to sell the Deadwood too. Yep. Kaji turn back says, Neves rumors again. The board always wastes time in signing good players. I don't know how we're wasting time signing good players, but I don't know. Like,
I think maybe what he means is like we take too long to get the players we want to get. For instance, like Bruno, we were supposed to get Bruno in the summer. We didn't do it. And the only reason we really signed Bruno is because we had a midfield crisis. Mctominay was injured. Pogba was injured. Matic was injured. So we splashed the cash on Bruno because of that. So I understand what my guy K-Bench over here is saying.
Yep, right. Rice is not worth 100 mil exactly.
I don't think any defensive midfielder is worth 100 million pounds. I'm sorry, yeah. I just don't.
Ugly Bear says Rangnick does need to make a statement signing. Yep. He does need to make not just a statement signing, someone that he can cooperate with. But yeah. Kaijin Dreamback says Neves is a better option and is a perfect fit for us. Spot on. Exactly. But yeah. Trash TV just said here, thank you guys for commenting, by the way. Says, by the way, why are players entering training on Thursday? Did they ask for a break? Not, I don't know. It's weird. There's just so many things at United that, like, we are not updated on, and we don't know why. It's just just because, I guess. I don't know. Sorry, I can't answer that question, Tragic. But yeah. So let's get back to discussing things United, and let's just quickly take a look at the midfielders. So we discussed basically all of our backs, and I would like to start discussing our midfielders. Just an update for the show, everybody. We're going to be talking about all the lineup, and then at the end, we'll go through a bit more news. As always, hit that like button if you guys are enjoying. But so the midfielders. Right now we got who? We got Matic, we got Van de Beek, we got the McFred partnership, and then we got like Bruno. But mostly in that double pivot ahead of the defensive line, we mostly play Mctominay and Matic, and Mctominay and Fred. That is probably the place where we are just having the worst like performances like ever. It's absolutely ridiculous. Literally, our midfielder mids are like invisible. Like they're on the field and everybody's passing right through them. It's absolutely ridiculous. But who are your two players to play in that double pivot? Is it the McFred partnership? Is it Matic and McTominay? But for me, it is definitely Donny van de Beek needs to be playing them and playing there in one way or another. I really feel bad for him. I think he's a very well technically built player, and he should definitely have the opportunity to be playing there. Why is Donny van de Beek not starting there? It's honestly absolutely ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You know, we saw training photos of Donny van de Beek finally getting in or something like that, getting into the games, and then no, somebody's playing Matic 2 games in a row. Why do you play Matic? It's ridiculous. But what are your thoughts on just the midfield situation? Want to hear what you're thinking about that. A different perspective is always great. But yeah, just while you're saying that, I'll just go through the comments, just show them on screen. So you can, yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I completely agree with you. Our midfield is definitely an issue. I think that I'm a big believer in structure. I believe that your midfield, like that midfield to that base, I feel like you need two midfielders who understand their defensive responsibilities at a high level. You know, I think Matic does do that well. I think Fred understands his defensive responsibilities well. I think McTominay understands his defensive responsibilities well. The challenge is specifically McTominay and Fred, their ability to create while doing that. You know, the best, if you look at the likes of a Chelsea, if you look at the likes of a Liverpool, if you look at the likes of, you know, even a City with all, I mean, they have world-class players, but those people are saying, people, you know, say, oh, Bernardo Silva's playing in midfield. Like, you know, why can't you play Donny in midfield? But Bernardo Silva defensively is much more, it's just way better than Donny defensively, if that makes sense. I do think Donny should be playing more 100%. Would I play him in that double pivot? I would like to, you know, I wouldn't mind seeing it more. I honestly wouldn't mind seeing it more. But again, I don't think he's the solution. I think he's a very good player, but I think he's better higher up the pitch. If you watched him at Ajax, if you watched that champion specifically, that I never watched the Eredivisie. I'm going to be completely honest with you, but I do watch Champions League football. If you watched their run to the Champions League semifinal, the year that they lost to Spurs, Donny was a type of player that he was kind of an 8 who would, you know, make second, third man runs into the box and score goals and create assists. You know, if he's playing too deep, you take away from me his biggest asset, which is his ability going forward. I think that because, you know, maybe he's not the level of a goal scorer of a Bruno, people downplay his ability in a number 10 role, but he is a very comfortable on the ball player. I think he's a smarter player than Bruno. Maybe, you know, Bruno gives us more goal contributions, but I think he's just a smarter player than Bruno, you know. So do I think he should be playing more? Yes. The midfield too, it's tough for me because I go back and forth on this. I'm not as much of a Matic dislike person as you are. I think Matic is a good player. The challenge is, he can't be prime Matic anymore. He's not the same player, right? He can't give you a 7 out of 10, in my opinion. Correct me if I'm wrong, but, you know, I don't think he can give you a 7 out of 10 if you play him week in, week out, week in, week out. But I think that he definitely needs to be in the squad. Fred and Mctominay, both very polarizing players in our fan base. I think both of them have huge deficiencies, different, Fred, that first touch is pretty poor. I think he's prone to a mistake. But again, I think, is he playing in the right? Is he a six? No. I think we actually need a defensive midfielder to help the likes of a McTominay and a Fred, to have more license to go forward. McTominay scored like 7 goals last season. That's pretty good for a midfielder. That's a pretty good return. But he's
a solid player.
Yeah, I just don't think that I don't think he's a Manchester United starter. I don't think Fred's a Manchester United starter. I don't think Matic at this point in his career is a Manchester United starter. Donny van de Beek, is he a Manchester United starter? We don't know. We genuinely don't. We haven't seen him play enough to validate that. He has played well in his cameos. I'm not denying that, but we haven't. There's no validation for that yet. There's no, and we mentioned the only players in my mind that, let me not even say it like that. I'll reword this. The only top class midfielder we have is, when I say he could play for pretty much most of the world's best teams, is Paul Pogba. I think he's the only one. I think Van de Beek was on that trajectory and we kind of stunted his growth. Bruno, he's a I don't know if you watch basketball, but Bruno reminds me of Russell Westbrook. He just reminds me.
I don't watch it, but
okay, yeah. So if anyone who does watch basketball, Bruno's he'll give you numbers, he'll produce for you, but is he making the team better? The jury is still out on that for me. So I think we need, it's not going to happen, but I genuinely think we need 3 actual proper midfielders. I think Bruno's a 10. Is that a midfielder? Yes, but that's an attacking midfielder.
Yeah, he plays a bit higher up.
Yeah, I think Donny's an attacking midfielder. I think Paul Pogba's an attacking mid. I think he's a front. I think he's an attack-minded player. I think he's better when he's higher up the pitch, not worried as much about his defensive responsibilities in the middle of the park, especially in England where the pace of the game is a lot faster. But other than that, man, Fred, I think he's a decent player. I think he's kind of, it's either you hate Fred or you love Fred. I'm kind of in between on him. McTominay, a lot of people dislike him. I think he just hides during games, to be quite honest with you. He doesn't look to receive the ball. He doesn't do what I would want, what I expect from a Manchester United midfielder. When I was younger, I grew up with Scholes, Michael Carrick. I grew up with Darren Fletcher, who we talked about today. I don't know if you've ever seen Darren Fletcher play, bro, but he was a good player. I know a lot of people tried to compare him to McTominay. No, Darren Fletcher was way better than Scott McTominay. I mean, way better. We used to play Ji-Sung Park in midfield, better than all of these guys. I'm talking about in those the midfield roles that required to have more defensive structure. So we're miles away from the midfield depth that we had under the likes of a Sir Alex Ferguson. We're just light years away from that, and that's a huge problem because I believe the middle of the park is the most important part of the field. If you win a midfield battle 9 times out of 10, you have the best chance to win the game. And we win games without, with Ollie, we were winning games without winning the midfield battle, which is abnormal. Completely abnormal for a top level footballing side. Normally, if you're not winning the midfield battle, or if you're not at least at a minimum competitive, right, you're not gonna win. I don't know if you saw Chelsea Liverpool this past weekend. The quality of midfielder that they have in comparison to ours, I'm talking about in their starting 11 and on their bench, it's a huge issue. That's why the likes of Neves, bring in Basuma, bring in Haidara, even though I don't know too much about him, they're probably going to make us better because our midfield is so poor.
I agree with you 100%. But you did say that Fred you think he's a good midfielder. That's the only point that I would have to disagree with you. I think Fred is just absolutely horrible. He loses the ball all the time.
Yeah. Well, I think he's an. So I think I'm more on. I lean toward this. The point of Fred is, I think Fred could do a job for us. There's no reason Fred should be starting week in and week out for Manchester United. He would, in a title winning side, he would never be anywhere in the starting lineup. I don't think that the same. Like I said, the same goes for a majority of our midfielders, right? But I think he does have some qualities that are beneficial to us. I think when he plays, there is a bit more urgency in midfield at a minimum, And I don't think I love Nemanja Matic. Nemanja Matic is one of my, my favorite defensive midfielders over the past 10 years. If you watched him at Chelsea, oh my goodness, he was out, and even in the beginning of his United stint, he was excellent. He was an excellent player. I just
Yeah, I did see some clips of him before, but I feel like right now he's kind of also sunken off. He's not that good anymore.
So I think that he has the best out of those defensive midfield players, or the players who play in those positions. I still think he has the best feet, right? I still think he takes care of the ball the best. I still think that he puts the ball into midfielders and strikers' feet better than a Mctominay or a Fred. I just think he lacks the the sharpness he used to have at one point in his career. He was never blessed with pace. I mean, he was never a pacey player. He was just a player who could outthink you. And I think he just lost a quick little jolt to that sharpness. Same thing with Juan Mata. Obviously, he doesn't play at all. But I'm just saying, like, Juan Mata at his absolute best, wasn't pacey. He was just smarter than everybody else on the pitch, But now those guys have lost that little jolt of being able to make those decisions as quickly as they used to, at the top level. So, go watch some Matic highlights, bro. He was a beast. He was a beast. I think you're on mute, bro.
That was a long discussion on our midfield because there's just so much to talk about there. But mostly, I do agree with your points. Again, Fred. Right now, Matic definitely not a starter, and we definitely need to sign a CDM and midfielders in this January transfer window. At least one. We need to sign somebody. It is a guarantee. But let's read out like the 25 chats we have here. There's like so many. Thank you guys all for chatting. Let's see here. So Phil Jones, what is going on? Hope you're doing well. And welcome to the stream. We got here some questions. Hi, Phil. You was solid for us last night, apart from when you headed in. We lost 1-0. Yep. Fred and Donnie. I don't know. I would just somebody instead of Fred. Like, let's say we get Haidar and Donnie. For me, that would be better. Of course, as you said, Donnie's not tested yet, but I think he's better than Fred.
Yeah, he's better than Fred. He's definitely better than Fred. I'm not saying we shouldn't play. I'm not saying we shouldn't play Donnie in one of those 6 positions. I just think that it's a square peg in a round hole. I don't think that's his best position.
Right. All right. Match is finished. He should not be playing. Yep. Right now, he's kind of gone in my view. Sure, Donnie should be in that midfield ASAP. Yep. Got to get him in there. Kieran, thanks, mate. Really appreciate it. Nice. He's not the solution, but how can we play Matic over him? Yeah. Yep, I agree with you. How can you start Matic 2 games in a row, right? They started from 2 games and not play Donnie at all. It's just, man. Ugly Bear, only way to play Donnie is if Bruno is dropped, and if Bruno gets dropped, our toxic Twitter keyword rows have field day of abuse. Yep. Let's see. Fred is awful. That's my opinion. He's not good enough to Manchester United. I agree on the most part. Like, he's not good enough. Our entire midfield's not good enough. Thing is, we shouldn't drop Bruno for Donny. We should play Pogba, Bruno up front, Donny, Fred in the back, Son, Fred, or for Haidar or Kamara if we get one of them. Yeah, we need to be bringing in somebody. Yep. I'm just going to go through them, guys. Thank you guys all for chatting. Just, write questions so that we don't have to read through all of them, just so that we get to the question ones. But Fletcher was amazing. Watch his tackle versus Arsenal. Yep. He was good. Nice. Nice. Red 92, haven't seen you here before. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Woodward is still there. It's a big problem. Yep, until we got the Glazers and everybody else, there is a big problem. It shows how bad our midfield is. Yep. From then, Jose San Medici is the only defense midfielder we have up to now. Yep. Let's see. You made me laugh, and I prefer our mascot, Fred the Red. Red 92 says Fred is shit. We win in nothing with that midfield. Yep, I know he constantly loses the ball, and it's an utter disgrace. Kaiji Dirtyback says, yeah, for now we only have McFred until we sign a real engine midfielder. Yep, I know. We don't have any other options. People complain, but we got Donnie, and we don't have anybody else. That's just the situation, But yeah, guys, thank you guys all for tuning in. By the way, if you haven't already, make sure you guys, all of you watching, click that subscribe button and like button. Also, make sure you guys all check out Temmie's channel. I did post a link in the live chat. I will post another link right now for you guys. Make sure you guys all go check out his channel. He does do like similar Manchester United content, and we'll be for sure doing more streams like this. So click that link after the stream and check out his channel. But back to it. We discussed everything. We discussed the news, and now we just got to discuss our front players. That's the only thing we haven't discussed. So let's move on to there. Of course, we have quite a lot of options there, to be honest. We have Ronaldo, of course. We have Greenwood. We have so many players, and that is an area of Manchester United that also needs to be improved. We got to improve everywhere, but the thing is, I feel like we often get the ball in the final third and then we lose it. We get the ball in the final third and we very, very quickly lose it. Like there was this one chance where Ronaldo was moving up. It was against Wolves and he was the only one there, and he takes a shot because there was nobody else supporting him there. So just wanted to ask you very, very briefly, very, very quickly, what are you thinking about our front players? Who should be starting? And what is the solution? Should we be signing anybody there? I know Julian Alvarez can play pretty well in that position, like as the right forward or something like that. What are your thoughts on that? Should we be signing somebody for there and all of that? And at the end, we will be discussing some latest news. If you guys are watching, put your thoughts in live chat, smash that like button, and let's get back to it here. So what are your thoughts on our front players?
Yeah, it's a tough one, man, because Ronaldo is one of my favorite players of all time, if not my favorite player of all time. Probably second to Paul Scholes. You feel me? But he's a shadow of the player he used to be. Like the player I grew up watching and the player that we see now, even though he can still score goals, he's a dependent player, if that makes sense. He's dependent on service. He's dependent on quality people in behind him to feed him. He's dependent on balls into the box. If you're expecting Ronaldo to play with his back to goal, link the play, which he's been attempting to do poorly over the past few games, you're selling yourself a dream. Okay. I think Cavani again, really, I mean, come on, Cavani's an excellent player when he's on form. But again, he needs, I don't know if he should be starting with Ronaldo. I think that Ronaldo needs someone who can kind of do the dirty work for him in terms of holding up the ball, letting the midfielders come into play, and then allowing him to be in the box waiting for crosses. He shouldn't be the guy who's holding up the ball and, doing all of the grunt work that you expect, a striker in their prime to do. Even when he was in his prime, he didn't do a lot of those things. Karim Benzema was the person who sacrificed so much. Wayne Rooney at United sacrificed so much for Ronaldo to be the best version of himself. You feel me? So I don't know if Ronaldo and Cavani, I mean, it's a tough one. If you do play Ronaldo and Cavani, I don't think you should play Mason Greenwood as one of the number 10s. I think you need a creative player like a Donny, a Jadon Sancho, I'll say it, and Anthony Martial, in those positions in behind, because those guys are the players who are creative players that, can get these older strikers the ball. But as it currently stands, Ralf is playing Mason Greenwood in those positions. I thought Mason was good the other day, but he still has as much as I love him, I still think he has a lot of learning to do. I think he's better as a number 9 than he is on the right-hand side. I think if, even though he's still struggling with his back to goal, I think with a partner like Cavani or Ronaldo would help him out a bit to kind of grow and learn. Who would I start in our front two? If Martial wasn't playing, if Martial didn't request a transfer, he would definitely be one of those players. I would play Martial and Ronaldo. That is who I would play. I would play Martial because Martial allows Ronaldo to not. Martial would do the grunt work. He would take a lot of the flack for maybe not scoring the goals, but he would make our team better, without question. He'd make our team 1,000 times better than what we're seeing right now. In terms of hold up play, in terms of linking up the play, in terms of connecting the midfield to the front. He's the only player who's really great with their back to goal. The rest of these players aren't. So I'd pick Ronaldo and Cavani. Ronaldo and Martial, even though that's never going to happen. So while we're doing it, I would say Ronaldo and Greenwood. I know Cavani. I think Cavani's a better player than him, but I think that Mason Greenwood probably. I think that he offers something that, a Ronaldo Cavani partnership maybe can't bring. But is Cavani a better player than Mason Greenwood? Yeah, he's definitely a better player than Mason Greenwood. But I think that the Ronaldo Cavani up top thing, I don't think that partnership is what we think it's going to be.
Right. So your verdict is your top two is Ronaldo and Martial, right?
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So I know in the live chat we got Ugly Bear, who I know just from other comments he is a big fan of Martial, but to be honest, myself, I know he's been a big icon of the club in the years before, but right now I feel like he's just not good enough, and he's definitely not a starter. I feel like he would get injured quite often, and he's just not a player that can start day in and day out. So
why do you think he's not good enough? I'm curious. I would like to hear your perspective.
I just feel like he gets the ball, right, and he can't actually progress the ball well forward. He gets it, and I feel like he constantly has those backward passes. Like that's just what I'm seeing. Of course, I'm not I don't know but that's just my opinion. I feel like he gets the ball, he constantly plays it back, and he's not able to actually progress the ball forward, and he's kind of slow. That's just my view. I don't know. I know you probably don't agree with me on that, but that's just my thoughts on that. So for my front two, I would go with Cristiano Ronaldo, of course, and actually I would put in Mason Greenwood as a starter. I think he is very, very good because he is very, very fast, in my opinion, and he has good foot skills, and he is a wonder kid. He can, he has time to develop and get better, and soon he could be at the point where he is a good starter and a permanent solution for Man United. So I think the front two is honestly the only place that we don't need much improvement. The least amount of improvement is in our front players. So I think Ronaldo and Mason Greenwood are definitely two players that should be starting. But yeah, let me just go over some chat, guys, and put in our last minute thoughts. If you guys do want to join the stream, you guys can click the pinned link comment for StreamYard. You can guys join in. We'll just have a quick discussion with you. So if you guys are watching, click that link right now if you want to. But let me just go through some comments very, very shortly. So we got it here. Chishti says, if we're going to sign a striker, I'd go for Haaland and just so City don't get him. But that won't happen because he is anonymous towards us because of Roy Keane. Yep. And either way, he won't want to go to United. Apart from that. Our best attacker that can hold the ball is Martial and would be ideal to partner Ronaldo, but obviously fans don't like Martial now. Yep.
And football is about opinions, bro.
Yes.
You might view one thing one way, I might view one thing another. Doesn't mean we're wrong or right or whatever. We just have opinions, and that's what's fun about this whole YouTube thing and fan channel thing. We get to unfiltered opinions, bro. I love it.
Right. Kieran here says, when we first signed Martial, he was amazing, but that player no more. He got back to the yes, but he's not interested anymore. Yep, he does want to leave. He's not getting the game time, and I just feel like he's kind of fallen off. That's just my view.
if you were a competitive player, right? Let's just hypothetically say we don't make top four. You think Ronaldo wants to stay? You think he would want to stay? I don't think so. If Ronaldo wasn't getting game time, I'm not comparing Martial to Ronaldo, but I'm just saying, like, imagine being at a club for 7 years. You were sold a dream of we're going to build a team that's going to win a title, and the club is just so dysfunctional that it never happens. People say that Martial's not interested. How many of our top signings have been a glowing success? Harry Maguire, failure. Di Maria, failure. Falcao, failure. Wan-Bissaka, it's looking like it's trending in the wrong direction. Paul Pogba, I think he's been a lot better than what people make out to be, and I think he's arguably our best player. But he hasn't been what we expected. Let's just be real. I love Paul Pogba. I think he's still one of the best midfielders in the world. You feel me? But when people say that he's not interested, I think the reason he's requesting a transfer is because he cares. He's tired of the change in management. It was a Van Gaal signing. Then he went to Mourinho. Now he's with Oli. Now he's with Rangnick. He's tired. He's tired of and mind you, he's not even a British kid. He doesn't have the same attachment to Manchester United probably that, a Marcus Rashford would have. You feel me? So if he feels like the club isn't going in the right direction, I would request a transfer too. I'll be quite honest with you.
My bad, I was muted. I agree with you 100% there. And just do what is best for his career, and if that's leaving, that is what he should do, people. But yeah, Kaji turning back, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Hit that like button, subscribe. But yeah, he says, Tam, I will be on your channel now anytime. Yeah, people, make sure you guys all go check out his channel. I will post a link later on the stream once again. But yeah, great channel. But let's just see some other comments here. Our best attacker that can hold the ball is Martial and would be ideal to partner Ronaldo, but obviously fans don't like Martial. Oh, we already read this one. My bad. When we first yeah, we already read those. Ronaldo can play a make, but only when our other forwards run in, but that literally almost never happens anymore except Cavani jogging towards the box. Yep.
Nah, Ronaldo's not a playmaker. Ronaldo's never really been a playmaker. Yes, he put up outstanding numbers. He was the best player in the world at one point. But at this point in his career, he's not a playmaker. The last thing he's thinking about is passing to somebody.
I feel like what Tragedy is saying here is that Ronaldo isn't a playmaker, but he can like progress the play when he's in the final third, when there are other people supporting him in the final third. I feel like that's what he's saying. So I would agree with that, but of course he's not a definition-based playmaker, I guess if you can call that. But yeah. Thank you guys all for commenting, by the way. Keep on putting your thoughts, last-minute questions, and all of that in the live chat. We will probably go on for another 10 minutes or something like that. Finish up some discussions, just overall thoughts on Manchester United. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that like button. Let's try to smash 15 likes on the stream. And subscribe to the channel. We are on the grind to 300 subs at the moment. But I would just like to discuss overall Rangnick's philosophy as a as a manager. Do you think that 4-2-2-2 system can actually be incorporated at Man United at some point, or is it just like a dream that will never come true? And do you think playing a 4-4-2 against Wolves is ridiculous? Like, I'm pretty sure you should only be playing like 4-4-2 against Burnley or Leeds in the Prem. Like, you shouldn't be playing 4-4-2 against Wolves. Like, what are your thoughts on our formation and just Rangnick's overall philosophy as a manager? And so will it be able to be incorporated at United?
Yeah, so he's gotten a lot of criticism for this 4-2-2 formation, or whatever you want to call it, this narrow 4-4-2. But I'm a firm believer that formations don't define how do I word this? The formation is not the huge issue all the time. Do you need players to fit a formation? Yes. Right. But if you go back and look at for instance, Mauricio Pochettino at Spurs, he used to kind of implement this 4-2-2-2 thing a bit. People would call it a 4-2-3-1, but Dele Alli was kind of playing like he was almost playing next to Kane, as opposed to being a 10, right? So we've seen it. We've seen iterations of it before. I don't know if you got a chance to watch Chelsea versus Tottenham today. Chelsea kind of played that 4-2-2-2, system at moments in the game. So it's more about the players to me, and they're just overrated. They're not adapting to this because they don't want to. At the end of the day, they were comfortable with playing 4-2-3-1, sitting back, not running, not being aggressive. Now a manager's asking them to do all these things, and it's tough. So yes, do I think there was a tactical mistake against Wolves? Maybe we shouldn't have gone with the 4-2-2-2. Maybe we should have started with a 3 at the back like we did in the second half where we got more control. I think he will be flexible over time, but I think he's trying to hammer this formation into the players, and then once he figures out, okay, this person doesn't work, this person doesn't work, he'll weed out the players. I think we might see more of a back three sometimes going forward. That 3-5-2 that Leipzig played when he was one of the leaders in that club, one of the philosophy builders in that club. I wouldn't be shocked if we see 3 at the back a little bit. But the 4-2-2, the 4-2-2 system is not the biggest issue for me. There is holes in it, but there's holes in every system. There's not one system that is known to man that doesn't have frailties. Right. Doesn't have frailties. You know what I'm saying? It's all about how you exploit the other team's weaknesses. And Wolves just did that better. Wolves, I'll put it like this. The Wolves players knew what their roles were to a T, and our players going out on that pitch clearly still are struggling to understand what is required of them in this formation.
Right. I agree with you. So your overall view is it's the players, and every formation has its own flaws. Yeah. Right. It's always interesting to see your thoughts.
Yeah, we could have played. We've seen under Ollie, we played a 4-2-3-1 a majority of the time. A lot of the times we were getting outplayed. We've played a 3-5-2 before right. Under Ollie, and I've seen us get slapped up with that formation. Like, it's not about a formation is just a platform at the end of the day. It's up here. It's up here. If you have football intelligence and you understand what the manager is asking you to do, man, it's a completely different ballgame. But these players are, I don't know what to say about them right now, man. I'm really frustrated with them.
Right. Yep, I understand. But everybody watching, make sure you guys hit up that like button. As always, you guys are enjoying. I think that Tammy does need to go now. So thank you guys all for tuning into the stream. We will go on for another 10 minutes after this, so nobody go anywhere. Tammy just got to go, and then we'll discuss some more news after he leaves. Thank you for coming on. Your overall verdict is Manchester United need to improve. We all know that. We got Aston Villa coming up in how much, 4 days or 5 days? Yeah, Aston Villa. Hopefully something can change. Hopefully we can have some sort of improvements in that game, because we do need them. It is crucial that something changes, guys. But thank you so much for coming on to the show, Tammy. Make sure you guys all go check out his channel. And I will see you soon. We should definitely be doing another stream like this very soon. I really enjoyed it. So I will see you in the next one. Peace. So yeah, see you later. But guys, don't go anywhere. We will continue everything. So all you guys watching, I will get into some of your comments very, very shortly. Hit up that like button as always. But yeah, you can just hop off. Yeah. All right, people. Well, I hope you guys are doing well and enjoyed the interview with Tammy here. Make sure you guys don't go anywhere. We will be continuing the stream, so don't go anywhere. We will discuss some of the news. I just wanted to discuss with him the specifics about Manchester United. But for another 10 minutes, we will discuss some more news. Make sure you guys all hit that like button. Can we smash 15 likes on the stream? And also, And make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you guys are enjoying. But let me just go through some of the comments, put all your thoughts in live chat as always. But yeah, so let's see what we have here. Karen says, yeah, but you have the good and bad times, and I've seen plenty of bad times. I'd love him to stay and get back to what he was. Still love Martial and our fans at love him. Yep. Ugly Bear, thank you so much for putting the Q&A, the absolute legend as always. Should Rangnick sign players based on what his gegenpress needs or what the squad needs, as in CDM, etc.? I think that Ralf Rangnick should be prioritizing players that are going to fit well under his system primarily, and not just players that are famous for some reason or anything else. He should primarily be signing players that will fit well under his system. So yes, my answer to that question is a yes. But Tragic TV here says, nah, what I was getting at is he can play make if the rest of our front line run in. Yep. So if everybody continues with him, for the most part, he doesn't play make. By the way, watch the Sancho was versus Villarreal. That was a playmaker. Yep. You're doing an amazing job, Kieran says. Ben, love your amazing channel. Thank you so much. Big shout out to Kieran. You're an absolute legend, as always. Hope you guys are all enjoying the stream today. Absolute legend, as always. And thank you guys all for all the support. You guys are honestly incredible. Let's just continue here. Ugly Bear says, we have to remember it took Klopp and Pep a few years before they built squads ready to change the PL. Yup. Awesome, Temmie. Amazing job. I will post a link to his channel very shortly. But thank you guys all for coming on here. You're awesome, Temmie. Can't wait to see more of your content. We will definitely be seeing Temmie more on the show. So if you haven't been able to, you just tuning in, you haven't seen Temmie, or just want to see more in the future, make sure to subscribe to the channel with the notification bell so you guys can see Temmie more in the future. He will definitely be on the show more and more. All you guys watching, thank you so much for tuning in. But yeah. Because the players are too lazy, they don't want to improve on their work days. Exactly. You call it spoiled brats. That's exactly the word, people. That's exactly the word. Danish, what is going on, my guy? How are you doing today? Welcome to stream. Haven't seen you on before, but welcome. Hope you're doing well. You're an absolute legend. Seriously, we cannot get top 4 with Fred and Mctominay. Absolutely agree. We need a new central defensive midfielder in January. If we don't bring a new central defender by top 2, by top 4, and Ronaldo next year, buy to him as well. Exactly. You got it spot on, dude. All eyes on the United board for January recruitment. Exactly. We need to sign new midfielders. 100%, people. It is needed. It is absolutely needed. Jose Policarpo, what is going on? How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. You're an absolute god for tuning in. Haven't seen you on before, but welcome to the TalkMUFC channel. My name is Ben, and welcome. The lack of work rate is appalling. This is not a team. It's a bunch of individuals. That's the issue on the pitch. Spot on, my guy. We are not a good, well-built team. It's just a bunch of individuals. Nobody's working together. When you watch Chelsea, you see players working together, actually able to build something well, and we're not seeing that at United. Jose, you got it spot on, my guy. Spot on. Let's see here. Kaiji No Turning Back says, blessed everyone, love you, subscribe, and help Ben grow his channel. Thank you so much for all the support. You're an absolute god. You guys heard him. Hit that like button, subscribe. But honestly, the support has been amazing. You guys are all legends. We're just trying to grow Man United community, get more people on here. But thank you so much, Kaiji, for the support. You're an absolute long-time legends. Guys, keep on putting your thoughts in the live chat. As always, want to see what you guys are thinking. Any questions you guys have, just put in Q&A or just put in the question. I'll be answering it right away. And we will be getting into the news right after this and just my last minute discussions. If you guys are just tuning in, you guys can watch the replay after the stream. But yeah, big up Temmie, says Kaji. Big up to the guy. We'll be having him on the show, as I said, more and more. But that was all the comments. Keep on putting your thoughts in the live chat as always. Leave all your questions in there. But let's just hop on, discuss some news, all of the latest. So at the moment, guys, as I have in the title, Manchester United are mostly pursuing Ruben Neves to Manchester United. That is the big talk right now. That is the player that we are all wanting to sign at the moment from Wolves. What do you guys think about this player? Let me know in the live chat. Personally, ever since he came into the Prem, I thought he was a player that is good, chat. I thought he was a player that was good, and I think he would have really, really strengthened our side. Just that's what I'm saying. And we need to keep on signing him, but it's going to come down to how the Glazers will act. Will they be able to set up a good meeting with his agent and really be able to sign Ruben Neves? Because I don't know, chat. Are the Glazers gonna be able to actually act for once, actually do something well for once? I don't know. We'll see, but hopefully they can, something will get in their head. Or I don't know, and they'll finally be able to actually do something, chat. But what are your thoughts on Ruben Neves? Let me know in the live chat. I just want to hear what you guys are thinking about Ruben Neves to Manchester United, because that is the player that is right now really, really, it looks like Manchester United are really, really targeting Ruben Neves. So let me just quickly share my screen with you guys, show you guys a source. Don't go anywhere. Smash that like button. Can we smash 15 likes on the stream? That would be absolutely incredible, guys. We've been streaming for 1.5 hours just for you guys. So hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. But let me just share my screen very, very right now. So let me just get on to the screen here for you guys. And don't go anywhere. I'm just setting up the so let's see here. All right, people. Hopefully, guys can all see that here. This is coming from Sky Sports. Manchester United transfer news: Wolves, Ruben Neves, and Martial's Boubacar Kamara among targets. Those are the players we are targeting at the moment. Those are the two. Kamara, Ruben Neves. We also are targeting Amadou Haidara and Julian Alvarez. But let's just read through it, everything like that, guys. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying the channel, by the way. So Newcastle United and Roma are also interested in Kamara. They are also part of this. And honestly, Newcastle are going to be making some signings. They have already signed Kieran Trippier. There are many players that Newcastle are starting to target, and that is worrying. They're coming in here with so much money, and I'm afraid they're going to start taking over the transfer market. Like, not like literally, but it could be worrisome, people. It could be worrisome. But they're interested in Kamara, who is out of contract in the summer. So Kamara is out of contract in the summer. That makes it easy for us to sign him in the summer. So I think by the summer, he'll definitely find a new club for him. Will it be Manchester United? I don't know, but we'll see, people. Let's just take summer, and he can sign a pre-contract agreement with a club outside of France. Neves is under contract at Wolves until 2024. So Neves is still under contract, but I think that he has been coming out with lots of statements saying that he is interested in Manchester United, and that Manchester United would be a club that would be a higher level up for him, and that would be a good club for him to join. So that is just the latest on that. But let me just quickly show you guys some quick stuff here. Hopefully you guys are still doing well, and keep on letting me know your thoughts in live chat. I'm just gonna show you guys some very, very quick news here, some more things I just wanted to touch upon with you guys here. So let me just hop on, share my screen once again here for you guys. So yeah. So these are just my bookmarks, something that I did want to discuss with you guys. So Manchester United, Justin, interested in the building in Wolves midfielder Ruben Neves, including from Manchester United. So just wanted to show you guys, coming in from the source, Alex Crook, TalkSport, everybody's talking about it. Ruben Neves, a big, big target right now. Just wanted to show you this guys to you. And what else do I have here? Wolves would demand a package upwards of £50 million for Ruben Neves. So that's where the question comes. Is he worth £50 million for you guys? Is Ruben Neves worth £50 million for you guys? I don't know. For me, he is, people. But when you get into the top numbers like this, would it be better to sign Declan Rice for £80 million or sign Ruben Neves for £50 million? What kind of better quality would you get if you sign Declan Rice? How much better is Declan Rice than Ruben Neves? That's where the question comes in. But personally, I think that $50 million is a bit on the higher scale. I personally think that getting Ruben Neves for something like $30 million is definitely going to be possible, because he is very, very interested for playing for Manchester United. So I definitely think this is a possibility. But yeah, that is kind of all the latest. Everything I wanted to discuss with you guys. That is all the latest news today. But that just wanted to show you guys that all you 8 of you watching, absolute legends. please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It helps out the channel so much. And put your thoughts in the live chat. Put in your questions. All you got to do to be able to chat is just subscribe, and you'll automatically be able to chat in the live chat. But let me just go through all of your amazing comments, and we'll be heading out. So put in your last minute thoughts, last minute words in the live chat right now. But let's start taking a look here. So Ugly Bear here starting off says Newcastle will still be relegated no matter how many signings they make. I would have to disagree with you on that personally. They played phenomenally against us. Look, Ugly Bear, Newcastle played phenomenal against United during that game. I'm going to forget about how United played. Newcastle played well. So, I think that if they get a lot of signings with that kind of budget, they'll definitely be able to get it up. They already signed Kieran Trippier. It's going to take time, but I think they will be able to get to a point where they are real good. Fashion Dirtyback says Neves is determined and he plays with his heart out on the pitch. 100%, 100%. Yes, Neves is worth 50 mil. That's interesting that you say that. I think he is definitely worth 50 mil, but I think we will definitely be able to get him for something less. I think we will, chat. I think we will. But yeah, let's see what else we got here. Jose Policarpo reports suggesting Zakari and Kamara for less than 10 mil each in January is a deal any intelligent club would make, because even if they don't adjust, we can always get the money back or make a profit. Yup. If the players play well, if we start winning stuff, then that money will get back to us and we will make that money back. So it's worth it. It's worth it. But yeah, that's interesting that you say that about Zakari and Kamara, both great players and definitely worth it to sign. But right now we're just talking about a bunch of these players. We're not going to be signing all of them, chat. That's just the reality here. Team EW7, what is going on, my guy? Haven't seen you before on the stream, but welcome. Welcome to the TalkMUFC squad. My name is Ben. We're a Manchester United fan channel. You're an absolute legend for coming on. My guy, absolute legend. But all rumors never happen. That's what you're saying here. Rumors, they're rumors, but we got to talk about something. And right now the rumor is about Ruben Neves, and a rumor turns into a deal. It's always the way it is. It was when Ronaldo was coming, there was rumors, and then it's a deal. So I think that Ruben Neves, all these players that have been linked to United, it's rumors, and then there is going to be a deal, people. There is going to be a deal. I'm telling you, people, there is going to be a deal. There is going to be at least one deal in this January transfer window, people. Carrion here says Newcastle are getting grippier. I think they'll stay up. Yep. Are getting, Trippier. Right. Yeah, I that's what I'm saying here. I think that they are getting Trippier, and I think that is a player that will improve their side significantly. I think it's a player that will definitely improve their side, and they'll stay up. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Yes, he is worth it, Neves. He is worth it. Same with me. I agree with you guys. As always, absolute legend. So, those are all the comments right now. If you haven't already, put your thoughts in the live chat. Drop a like and subscribe if you guys do enjoy the stream. It really helps out. And all you need to do to be able to comment, to be able to live chat, is all you got to do is hit subscribe, and you'll automatically be able to live chat. That's all you got to do. So yeah, that'll be it, guys, for the stream today. Don't go anywhere. We'll have like 2 more minutes left. Right now, we have been streaming for an hour and 40 minutes with our boy Temi, and with with all you guys, absolute legends. So, overall, we had an absolutely horrible performance against Wolves. I made an absolutely crazy rant about that. Make sure you guys all go check that out on my channel. I am really mad. Something needs to change at United. Manchester United are going through a spiraling downfall. It's very similar to Arsenal and what happened during their days. And I am getting very mad. Something really does need to change, and something needs to happen right now, people. Something needs to change, and something really needs to get better, people, because at the moment, things are utter crap, to be honest with you. Things are utter crap. But that was an awesome stream with you guys. You are all absolute legends. Thank you guys all for tuning into the stream. It's been an honor to be with you guys all. Make sure you guys all go check out Temi's channel. You have all been amazing. Thank you guys all for tuning in to today's stream. That'll be it. If you have just tuned in, you guys can all watch the stream in replay. Can we smash 15 likes by the end of the stream? Hit that like button right now. Everybody watching, make sure to smash it if you haven't already. And hit that red subscribe button. But that was it today. Let's just see the last comment we got here. We should go for Maximin from Newcastle. How good he was against us. Yeah, that was a good player. But, you know, there's lots of players that would be good for us to sign. We can't be signing all of them. But, yeah, people. That is, you know, it's a question. It's always a question, people. But you got our absolute legends. Thank you guys all for tuning in today. I am TalkMUFC. You are absolute legends. We go live every single day, usually from 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if this is your first time here, click that notification bell so you guys tune into more streams like this. So we're going to be having more guests on and grow the Man United community. I'm really passionate about United. I'm sure you guys are too. We're going to be discussing so much more things about United. Thank you for all of your support. Thank you guys all for tuning in today. I will see you guys all in the next stream. So Manchester United forever. We got one more comment here. But Maxi tried so quick. He's a good player. Yep. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Absolute legends, each and every one of you. I will see you guys all in the next one. And of course, Manchester United forever. Peace.